Hello, so my name is Marina Bartolome and I'm a researcher and a professor at the university. I'm doing this video because when I finished this book, I found that I needed more specific examples and I thought I do not have enough projects, so why not to record a video explaining that. Obviously that's a joke. I was very stressed when I started reading this book and it has helped me a lot, so I thought it would be nice to add to all the information that Cal Newport gives in this book with specific examples on how did I apply this to my job. First of all, the author says that you have to limit your missions. That's the goals that direct your professional life. And I figured that because I'm still in the middle of my career, I would do coordinating projects, academic writing, and teaching lectures as my main three missions. Each mission have different projects. Okay, so projects are activities that cannot be completed on a single session. One example could be the Creamy Talks. Creamy Talks are events that I organize in which we discuss criminology topics. Okay, there are 6 in 2025. There will be 1 in 2026, thanks to this book. But my projects are CT6, the last one, and CT 2026, the next one. And then I have many articles ongoing, and I have here in the parentheses the name of the articles as my projects, and then I have the 3 places where I teach. Some examples of tasks are these. I just put very few, like search for grants, add changes in the article on mental illness, or overlook progress of classes. These are examples of class. So what does this book teaches you? I think that the main idea of this book is that you should focus on just one project a day. So you should choose what you want to work on a day. You should try to do as little things as possible. So try not to work on multiple things at the same time. And to illustrate this, it gives you an example of how to organize. I love to organize in lists, and that's supposed not to be the best idea. The best idea is supposed to be this one. So you have active projects, projects on hold, and projects on hold. Okay, so active projects you should have as much as 3. And then all the others are on hold. And you review this list every week at the end of the week. So for example, I have to finish this chapter on artificial intelligence and criminology. Sorry, that's a chapter of a book. So I need to finish this chapter this week. So I'm gonna work in this project this week. Once I've done that, because I hope that I will not get more changes in this chapter, I can remove it and then I can add another project, let's say this article, on my active projects. Okay, I'm gonna change that because I don't want to forget. And every time you get a new project, you have to think whether you actually have time to do it, and then you add it on this list, projects on hold. Some of the advices that it gives you, I find them very, very useful. For example, this is assuming that you have a lot of overload. For example, get extra time. How can you do that? Avoiding conferences, working from home, publishing research that you have already started. I give 2 examples of articles that I have already started, or co-authoring articles instead of being you the main author. Other really useful advices are on how to minimize tasks. So for example, put tasks in autopilot. For example, always review grant on Friday morning or after lunch grants. In my case, I always prepare my lectures before the lecture. So I always book 2 hours of my day before the lecture to do that. Basically, it tells you these tasks that you cannot avoid and that you postpone, just book them in your calendar because you have to do them periodically. So other things, make other people work, let them write what you have to do in a list, explaining you exactly what you have to do. Avoid projects that involve too many tasks, like do not organize events. It's the worst idea. And opt for others that might seem more difficult at the beginning, like writing a report that might be less work in the end because it only depends on you and you don't have to write 1,000 emails, contact 1,000 people, Then spend money both on quality items and automizing tools. Like, do not be cheap. Use premium tools. They can save time. And finally, that's the example of the list I already showed you. Pull instead of push. Instead of pushing everything and crossing, you have these spaces. When you get one space in your list, you add another project. So the active projects should be limited to 3. The others are put on hold. When scheduling your time in the week, you only focus on those projects that on active projects, right? Like even if I would love to work on this article because I'm really excited about it, it's not active yet, so I need to work on what's active now. Some projects are too big, like writing a book, so you have to divide them into chapters of books and add them slowly in this active project column, and update the source on what they should expect. So if you accept a new project, you should tell them like, okay, I will accept it, but bear in mind that it will take me 3 weeks because right now I have other projects in front of that one. And finally, update and clean that list once a week. So with this, I think that's the most specific examples and practical examples I could give from this book. I recommend you to read it. It was very inspiring for me, and it pushes you to focus more on quality, which for me is very, very important. And well, I don't know. I hope this was useful. Bye-bye.